As an entrepreneur, I want to know how to raise angel investment capital in Missouri and Kansas. This panel will help you all to start answering that question.
What type of traction are they looking for, and how can you be like one of those ruthless hustlers at the early stage and get some of that traction even though you have very little resources?
I guess I would say biography is part of it. I mean, what have you done in the past? Have you been disruptive? Have you changed the innovative? Have you been creative? In other experiences, have you come up with other ideas that have worked? Or did you work at a job and you came up with an idea that solved problems? I mean, it's about problem solving, right? Those basic elements that it takes to be there.
So it might be a little cheesy, but you're kind of talking a little bit about thought leadership, to where
Yeah.
they've demonstrated in the past that they're a domain expert and they've got some sort of traction, even if it has nothing to do with their current business, but it's relevant.
Yeah, traction is multiple things, I think. I don't know what you
agreed.
think,
So,
but it's
so you're
multiple
getting
different
that,
kinds of.
you're getting that biography,
Yeah.
your past experiences, that's one bout of traction.
Yeah.
You got something and maybe a tiny bit of money. Where would you guys go out and try and find some initial traction, and what types of things do you think speak the loudest?
Well, I think first things first, and this is coming from the lawyer, if you haven't set up a company, you don't have the necessary documentation, and you have no financial reporting, I'm not interested.
Right.
Even if there's no revenue, I still want to see what your expenses are, that you've thought about it, that you've planned for it, that you've budgeted. Because there's all different levels of entrepreneurs and there's all different levels of investors, right? And it's a lot of times a matter of marrying two that fit together.
Yeah.
And so, of course, there's the feel-good investments where, a friend of yours is opening up a restaurant, needs to borrow $5,000, and you're gonna give it to them and you're gonna get some free dinner out of the deal, right? Then there's the investments that we're talking about on a smaller or a much larger level that go all the way up to, you're looking at private equity and hedge funds and institutional investors where you've got a company that's, has 10 years of track record and positive cash flow and all that kind of stuff. But the in-between, I think, is probably the most important.
The journey of being in business is just like taking a road trip, right? And you always know where you're going. You just don't know how you're gonna get there always because you've got a snowstorm or a
Sure.
hurricane or something like that in the way, right? So, and you can enter that at any point. But the first thing, like when my wife and I travel, the first thing we do is talk to somebody that's already been there. So if you're going to Provence, you talk to somebody that's been in Provence for a month. You haven't spent any money yet, but you find out, hey, is Provence worth going to for us based on your experiences? And it's the same kind of thing, I think, you find somebody who has done that and let them take you under their wing. And you don't pick their brain really as much as give them a forum to explain their journey.
You tell them about that journey that they're about to go on. What do you think the importance of being able to show them something? A prototype, maybe a minimum viable product, something that can be at least a hint of how to build whatever it is.
I think that's part of what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean-
is give me a little something that I can get my hands on.
I see people come to my office all the time and talk about this idea,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Ideas don't get you capital investment.
Yeah.
It takes so much more than that. I mean, I've heard a million great ideas, and it usually boils down to execution of that idea. And so at least you have to show a minimum amount of execution on whatever idea it is that you have. Industry knowledge and or research. So if you say, well, there's been 4 other websites that have this type of revenue over the past 2 years, and this is how it's trending, that's something. And if you say, this is where I plan on inserting myself and taking market share, and this is how I plan on doing it, I think that's important.
Even as an innovator in your business, you need to have that innovation going in your business, but you need to have that innovation going in how you conduct your business too.
Agreed.
Constantly. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, stay on the cutting edge.
Yeah, so that takes a lot of coaching actually, and it takes, one thing that I notice in entrepreneurs is at some point they have a hard time taking it all in and on a revolving basis.
You can try to eat the entire sandwich, or you can take a bite.
Power of small wins. Like I see so many people that are like, well, if I don't get this partnership with Sprint, then I'm just not. I'm
Well,
screwed.
but you just said it yourself in real terms. Spend $100 on click, pay per
Right.
click.
Yeah.
And if it works, fine. If you're looking for 25 and you get 11, do you tweak it again? And next time you get $100, you do it again in a different way,
Yeah.
and you get 18.
Yeah.
That's how you built your business.
Exactly.
And, I mean, and so from my standpoint, yeah, you take the bite of the sandwich and chew it up really good.
Yeah.
But you're doing that already. You're chewing on it,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Small-
you're putting mustard on that bite as you take it.
Exactly.
So,
And eventually you'll be done with the sandwich, but
Yeah.
just gotta start somewhere.
no, you won't. No, you won't be done with the sandwich.
Well, they'll bring out
'Cause it
another
doesn't-
sandwich. It's a sandwich buffet.
It's like a
It's one of those
long
like, it's one of those like 15-yard
Yeah, yeah.
long.
And
stuff.
it just
And
keeps
there's
growing.
cut, but every 6 inches there's a cut. So I mean, there's definitely
Yeah.
milestones that you can get to. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
you're always going to continue setting milestones for yourself.